Hi Stacy, since we don't get to work together every day, I thought it might be a good idea to do a screencast so that I could formally present the storyboard that I put together for ID6900. As a brief overview, their course will have 7 modules or topics, and students will progress as appropriate during the development process. So as we discussed during the initial meeting, there aren't specific weeks or deadlines because everything will be dependent upon the progression of the project itself. The PSU standard course template will be followed, and I'm recommending that we use manual checkboxes that the students can tick off as they complete assignments. Additionally, every submitted item will be given 20 points. There are 6 deliverables, which means 120 points will be needed for the capstone to be complete. Module 1 would be an introduction, where we would have an overview of the capstone, the syllabus, the 3 templates you see listed here, but there wouldn't be any assignments to be submitted at that point. Module 2 would be a project launch, so again beginning with a brief introduction to the module. The templates to include would be the project selection criteria, the initial meeting agenda, a charter, and a communication plan. At that time, students would need to submit the charter and communication plan. Module 3 is assessment, so again beginning with a brief introduction to the module, although no templates or assignments would be included in this module. Module 4, again beginning with a brief introduction, followed by the SME feedback form template, and the assignment that the students submit would be a design plan. Module 5 is the development module, and again following the same format, beginning with a brief introduction. No templates would be included, but the student would need to submit the storyboard that they create for the project. In Module 6, there would be again a brief introduction, no templates, but the student would need to submit a summary of changes based on the implementation and testing the course. Module 7 is a wrap-up module, so again, starting with a brief introduction, the SME feedback form would be provided as a template once again, and the assignment is the reflection assignment that the students would complete. So a few questions for you. I'm wondering if the SME will have access to the course so that they can submit feedback, or will they email the completed form to the capstone facilitator? It's possible we could build it as a quiz within the course. I'm wondering if we need to follow the process that's normally used for student feedback, or exactly how we want to set that up for the SME. I also am wondering if we should have a block that lists the capstone facilitator name and contact information, and if there's a block that's needed for essential questions and what those essential questions might be. It doesn't seem that we need to include that here, but I just wanted to double check that. For introductions, I was imagining kind of an introduction to the module, what needs to be accomplished, why it's important, an overview of the assignments, etc. And I'm wondering if you would prefer to have that in text, or if we should consider creating a video for each introduction. And I could certainly write the script, and then we would need to decide who's recording that. And perhaps it's the capstone facilitator or somebody else, but I thought it might give a more engaging feel to the course and might help the students feel a little bit more connected and not as isolated during this very individual process. I'm also wondering if the project selection guidelines and roles and responsibilities letter really belong in the introduction. I thought really those should be done before the course starts, but I thought it would be nice to include those there just as a point of reference. I'm wondering if the templates need to be on a specific letterhead or form. And I'm also wondering about the feedback that the SME submits, and if the capstone facilitator would be summarizing that feedback and sharing it with the student at some point, or what's going to be done with that feedback exactly. I ask this because we would probably need to include some of that information in the introductions and the directions for getting that feedback from the SME. I hope this overview has been helpful. It's fairly linear in nature, and I expect that the format of this course probably would be fairly linear, even though we know that the development process is certainly iterative and things don't always go in a straight line. But I think it would help the students to have it set up in a linear fashion like the other courses. So I look forward to your questions, your insights, and your feedback, and I hope you have a great day. Take care.